For my university animation project, I'm creating a music video to promote the feature film I'm writing for my screenwriting module. I want to create an animation that blends limited animation with added detail. Shading and lighting will enhance the visuals. During my studies, I've been inspired by contemporary short film animation like these, Louise and Best Friend. I admire Best Friend for its expressive, stylised characters, and this is something I want to achieve in my animation. I also love the colour palettes used for both, which sets tone and emotion for the story to come. So as for my story, it explores a toxic relationship. It follows a girl seeking sanctuary at a pub, growing closer to the owner, only to discover his dark side. This idea has been in my mind for a long time, and it's been inspired by my experiences working in pubs, and I want to use that experience to shape the background details and character development. So for the first part, Lulu, who's my main character, runs away from home and arrives at a pub where Ronnie, the owner, kindly lets her in, offering a blanket and a cup of coffee. Then she forms a bond with him, growing close to him as he shows warmth and kindness. Though one night, she finds Ronnie in the cellar standing over a beaten man. She realises that she's sinned too much. She runs to her room and Ronnie confronts her. His anger erupts, and then she escapes to a rival pub where she begins standing up to him, and he watches, growing obsessed with getting her back out of the fear that she's gonna talk about what she saw. Then he becomes desperate and paranoid. He rifles through old photos of them, and then he punches a mirror in frustration. He then breaks into her new home with a mallet. He stalks the halls and finds her room. The scene ends on a cliffhanger as she wakes to find him standing over her. Now I'll explain the characters, their concept art and what inspired their designs. So I'll use my personal art style developed from shows like The Owl House, Gravity Falls and Steven Universe. These shows use simplified, exaggerated designs, so big eyes and oversized heads. These are easier to animate and convey emotions expressively. So on to my first character, Lulu. She is my protagonist. She's a simple girl who ran away from home, hoping to find somewhere safe, only to step into dangerous territory. I want to present her innocence in her appearance. Giving her softer features helps in conveying that. I first created this character when I was in my second year, and I wrote my first treatment for this feature film. In that version of this idea, Lulu was a much stronger woman at the start of the film. These are some of the concepts that I drew during that year, so this time around, I want to make her a lot weaker at the start so that she can develop that strength throughout the film. Some of these concepts are too strong, some of them are too weak. I wanted to find a middle ground, and so I've created this turnaround. I want to present her innocence, and I feel like I've conveyed that in this. She's got softer features, and her youth is shown through her height and build. Here is her expressions, the 6 main expressions I learned about in Simon's feature film module. So you've got starting with happiness, sadness, fear, disgust, anger and surprise. I believe that drawing these main ones will help me in mixing when branching them into more complex emotions such as boredom, jealousy or pride. Next I have my second character, Ronnie. He is the antagonist and is shown through his dual personality. Warm and inviting until he isn't, to which he grows angry and vile. I want to paint Ronnie in a way that can express this, as the startling change between the two contrasting ideas is what makes him all the more scary. So, while I had old concepts of Lulu, I've always had a solid idea of Ronnie's character design. He's inspired by characters like Tangerine from Bullet Train or Tyler Durden from Fight Club. He also reflects real life experiences with dangerous, unpredictable people that I've had. So in contrast to Lulu's design, I made his features a lot more sharper, signalling his deadliness. I've made him look more unkempt as well, wearing a simple tank top and his teeth slightly yellow. This is to show his lack of care for things. So like I did for Lulu, here's Ronnie's 6 main emotions: happy, sad, scared, disgusted, angry and surprised. Now that's it for the characters. We're on to location now. This story is set in a small town pub opposite a larger rival pub, one which Lulu eventually runs away to. So as for designs, I can't help but admire the Gravity Falls background style. It's very pleasing to the eye in terms of colour and compilation. So to start developing my backgrounds, I took photos of the pub that I currently work in for more inspiration on the aesthetics and location. So from these photos, I can see that the setting has a very warm tone and warm lighting. There's lots of decorations on the walls. The warm lighting and the decor contrast with the colder, starker cellar, reflecting Ronnie's dual personality. So using these photos, I created a simple, easy to replicate floor plan. I'll also develop these plans for the upstairs, cellar and the street. So I created a simple test background inspired by Gravity Falls and its style. It's simple and minimises detail, making it easier to draw. The audio and the visuals will tell the story. I'll be using a song called Where Evil Grows by the Poppy Family, and the lyrics perfectly match the story. So this story will be split in two, Lulu's perspective and Ronnie's perspective. The first half of the song will be shown through Lulu's eyes as she meets Ronnie for the first time. The lyrics explore initial admiration, then realising something sinister. And then the second half is from Ronnie's perspective. The lyrics reflect his controlling and obsessive nature. Each shot will start with an eye blink indicating a first person perspective, and here's the animation for that. So, taking into consideration the colour palettes of the previous contemporary films I've watched, I want to make my animation look more unified. To unify the visuals, I'll add a subtle overlay of a single colour, which is this one, at 10% opacity across all scenes. So here's the first half of my animatic. It is lasso tooled, and it's just an example of how my animation will be composed. So moving forwards, for the rest of this semester, my aim is to complete my animatic, produce my final beat boards, create floor plans for the cellar, upstairs and the street, and refine my blog. I'd also like to contact more people in the industry, as I haven't had any replies yet. And I want to gain more knowledge about the industry and its categories through networking, learning about background process, character design and animation, and approaches to animating. I think another thing I'd like to do is create a character demo, so a little short 5 to 10 second animation on how each character moves. I'd also like to explore Toon Boom more, because that's the software that I am considering using. So next semester, my approach for animating this piece will be to use knowledge gained from primary research to aid in character animation. The way that I plan on animating this is to start off with sketching all of the frames and then do the line art. I can then move on from that to working on colour. I plan to animate characters at the same time as drawing backgrounds, or investigate the proper approach to doing so. So I'd like to the next emails that I might send out is to explain my process to them, to these industry professionals, and question whether it's the right approach to take. Thank you.